pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Welcome back. This is our first regular meeting since March that we have people here physically in person. Gentlemen, is there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
There is, sir.
We have item 8 and item 9. Item number 8 is to add on to the consent agenda. It's Allegheny County Ag Expo. It's going to be a livestock auction agreement. And item number 9 is the second amendment to an agreement with Aramark for correctional services and various other purchasing things. Is there
To make a motion then?
Is there a motion to approve those two to add to the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the last public business meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to our action agenda, item 1 is a contract with FOP Lodge 144, Sheriff's Office, Correctional Divisions. Attorney Beeman.
Good evening, Commissioners. Unfortunately, with item 1, I'm sorry to report that the FOP was to vote on the contract at their meeting yesterday. My understanding is that they have voted on the vast majority of the contract. They were unable to vote on one portion of that. What I would recommend Commissioners do this evening to take action is to take action to table this motion or table this action item until the following meeting. My understanding is they're set to meet to resolve that last issue that they were voting on, and that should be done by 2 weeks from now, our next meeting. So I'd recommend tabling this, gentlemen.
All right. Is there a motion to table it?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Item number 2 is to ratify an agreement with Local 1715, Allegheny County Emergency Medical Division. Attorney Beeman.
Commissioners, again, this is our collective bargaining agreement with the EMS employees. We've had the terms finalized, and we have a contract in place. For your action tonight is to approve and execute that agreement.
Great. Thanks, Lee. Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Director Bennett. He's with us tonight. Pass on our thanks for that.
Roger. Thanks. Okay, moving to our consent agenda. Mr. Bennett.
Good evening, Commissioners. Now 7 items on your consent agenda tonight. Item 3 is Resolution 20-10 for the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development for the Locust Grove Sewage Improvements Phase 3 project. Item 4 is an agreement for the former Allegheny High School athletic field use to be used by the Westside Hunters and Braddock Warriors. Item 5 is a leaf vac purchase for Public Works. Item 6 is a sickle bar mower for Public Works. Item 7 is the declaration of a surplus vehicle. Item 8 is the agreement you mentioned for Allegheny County Livestock Auction, an agreement with the Farm Bureau for 2 weeks from now. And item 9 is amendment number 2 to an operating agreement with Aramark Correctional Services.
Great. Any discussion? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Administrator Bennett.
Just one thing for you Commissioners tonight. We received notice from the Public Service Commission that they're going to be having a hearing on the Point Reyes Energy Partners project, the solar field that's coming in. So we've drafted a letter for your signature tonight if you so choose to support that project. And if you don't mind, I'll read it into the record real quick.
Please do.
So it's dated today, addressed to Andrew Johnson, Executive Secretary of the Maryland Public Service Commission. And it says, this letter is to express to you the Allegheny County Board of County Commissioners support for the Point Reyes Energy Partners LLC application to the Maryland Public Service Commission for a certificate of public convenience and necessity for authority to construct a 19.84 megawatt solar photovoltaic generating facility in Allegheny County, Maryland, as referenced in case number 9643. The project will be constructed on a 113-acre portion of land that was previously used as a surface coal mine. We believe that this project is of great importance to Allegany County and will contribute to both our workforce and tax base in the future if successful. We also feel this is an excellent use of a previously mined tract of land that will benefit the citizens of Allegany County for many years to come. Should you have any questions, concerns, or comments about this request, please do not hesitate to contact us. So if you guys so choose, we'll have you sign that tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when we look towards energy of the future, you know, you have a tract of land that hasn't been really utilized since it was used for coal, and now that you're able to get it in use for green energy, that'll help Allegany County, help Maryland, help the United States, and help our tax rolls. So I think that's a win-win. The Public Service Commission is hearing that in August, so next month.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Anything else?
Thank you.
That's it for me.
All right. Attorney Beaman,
Commissioner, I have nothing further.
Commissioner Caparelli.
I was looking out and wanted to welcome people back. It's been pretty quiet and a little lonely around here, so we're glad to have people back from the public again. Thank you for coming.
Great. Commissioner Brody.
Sir, I have nothing this evening.
Great. We'll move on to the public comment then at this point. First up, we have Mr. Kenneth Wilmot.
Good evening.
Sir?
Like a young lady used to say on the radio, I'm just so proud to be here. I'm happy. I've been put on oxygen. It's made a new person out of me. I can now function like a normal person. I just have to carry oxygen with me. This coming Sunday, I'll be 84. I've seen it all in Cumberland. I've seen it all in Allegheny County. I've been all over the world, 20 years in the Air Force. I'm just happy to be here. I have a very large concern. What I'm here for is I hope you people will support and speak against the timbering of the watershed out at Lake Coon. The city has got it up for auction. They cut 4,000 acres. The watershed, which provides the people in Allegheny County with water to drink. They forget. In the past, all we've done is look at our trees with a dollar sign on them. We can no longer do that. It is our trees give us life. Why would you kill something that provided you with the oxygen that you need to function and survive? We cannot live without our trees. They take in, I got a figure somewhere, but if you look it up, it takes in thousands of pounds of carbon dioxide, converts it to oxygen for you and I to function. Without oxygen, I'm a prime example. I've got a disease of fibrosis in my lungs. Where I got it, I don't know. But anyway, I've seen it all. I've watched Cumberland, Allegheny County, go to the most beautiful place in the world into, I don't know what you call it. But in 1940, the population in Cumberland was 58,000, down to about 19,000 now. But anyway, you know, it's our trees and our birds that protect us. Our birds eat, a single bird eats 2,000 insects a day. And we cut down all that trees out there, where are the birds going to go? They don't have no place. They have to live too, you know. We've got to quit looking at trees like money. We've got to look at them our trees is the best friend we've got. And they are the best friend we've got. The human race cannot survive without our trees and our birds. And Major Grimm, he tried this about 5 years ago. And I went out to Centerville, they had a public meeting, and I spoke against it. Now it's back again. However, the city there's no public meeting. There was nothing brought up at, public meetings. That's wrong. People need the right to speak against stuff like this, An everyday function of everything in the government good. But when they start making things like this, we can't afford it. It affects every one of us in this room, everybody in the county. They cut down our trees. For example, right on Willowbrook Road, the city allowed them to cut down over 200 trees just to put up a stupid, ugly billboard. That earth made no end. But anyway, I'm 84. I'll be 84. If they cut them trees down, your children and their children will not see the beauty out of Lake Coon. You go out there, it is beautiful. I've taken hundreds of pictures out there. I went out there one day, the guy was fishing, had 2 little boys with him. And I looked, he's from Kentucky. He said, I got to talk. He said, yeah. I said, well, how come you come all the way up here from Kentucky? He said, a buddy of mine told me about it. He said, this place is great. It's beautiful. And he came up the Rocky Gap before they put all the garbage in out there. But I volunteered 3.5 years from 1990 to 1993. And we kept that place spotless. There was no casino, no golf course, nothing. Just a little parking spot for the children's beach and then the adult beach. And people were just there to say, boy, you guys are lucky. This is a beautiful place. Well, it ain't beautiful no more. Not to me, it ain't. We've got to quit commercializing, cut down our trees, and if we do, we're going to be in big trouble. Out in the forest, it's 10 degrees cooler than it is out in the middle of a field. That's a big plus. And so you need to take care of that. Now, I got one more thing.
We got other people signed up tonight, Mr. Wilmot. Maybe if we have time, Mr. Wilmot, but it's good. It's good to see you.
I've had time for 84 years.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay, up next we have Mr. Mike Getty.
Am I allowed to be unmasked for purposes of speaking?
Please do.
First of all, just as a matter of courtesy, I want to congratulate Mr. Bennett
Thank
on
you.
his appointment, and in particular, Mr. Beeman. Most of you may know, but I spent 12 years sitting in his seat, and Mr. Rudd worked with me at that time. I have managed to continue on in Garrett County, so I have now been a county attorney someplace for over 40 years. But Mr. Beeman probably doesn't know he's only one of 3 part-time county attorneys in the state of Maryland. So I wish him well. I have extended to him an offer to the extent that I can be of any assistance. I don't profess great knowledge, but after 40 years, some of the stuff I've seen. So if I can help him, I certainly will. My reason for being here this evening is actually to introduce someone to you. We are here, and the person that I'm going to introduce to you is Ms. Carmen Jackson, who is present here today, who is the president of the local chapter of the NAACP. The reason for being here is to ask the commissioners to acknowledge and to assist to the extent they can the requests that Ms. Jackson will make with respect to a project which involves her son, Corey Jackson, as well as Carmen, and the community. Corey is the founder of the Brownsville Project. And what we are here tonight to talk about is the fact that on October 6th of 1907, William Burns, an African-American man, was lynched near the Allegheny County Courthouse. His death occurred after a mob tore down a telephone pole and used it to batter down the doors of the Allegheny County Jail. With Mr. Burns' forced removal from the jail, he was shot and left to die on the street. The crowd wanted to hang Mr. Burns, but couldn't find a rope. I'm going to ask you to listen to Ms. Jackson as she explains the Maryland Lynching Memorial Project. It is a statewide project, is representative of other projects throughout the nation. But it is with a request that you consider fully the nature of her project and the nature of her request as a part of that. So I would ask Ms. Carmen Jackson.
Please.
Good evening.
Hi there.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
As he said, my name is Carmen Jackson. For the purposes of speaking, I'm going to reveal myself. First, I want to thank everyone for the opportunity to come here and present our case. I am humbly asking the City of Cumberland, the commissioners, to consider granting permission to cooperate with the Menchie project. My daughter, Corey Jackson, is the president of the Brownsville project, and this is what she is spearheading, and I'm here speaking on our behalf and the community's behalf. I believe we have copies of letters that have been written from different organizations in the community. We want to make this a humble plea. We don't want to make this a rally cry. Simply put, injustice was done, and we would like to give honor to the family. Don't want to litigate what happened or how it happened. It's the fact that a person was lynched while in possession of the state without consideration, without judgment. A mob decided this person's fate, and that in itself is not acceptable. All we're asking is for an opportunity to give honor to this man who never received honor, who was left to die on our streets, basically lynched by a mob. This is a project not just here in Cumberland, it's across the United States. And it has been passed, it's a House Bill number HB 307 that has been passed, so it's not just here. And what we're seeking to do is to have a soil collection. And then there's two other parts that'll come later. We'll have a historical marker and a monument. And it's all just to give recognition that this happened. And I can't stress enough, we're not trying to litigate. We're just trying to show honor and respect to a person that did not receive that here on earth. I think anyone would understand that if you had a family member who was drugged out of the courthouse and murdered, that hurt does not go away. That history does not go away. It affects more than one person. It affects the entire family of everyone involved. It affects the community. and it makes people who are humane literally cry. I'm asking you respectfully to let us show honor to Mr. Burns' life. And I can't prove what he did or did not do. That is not the issue here. The issue is that he did not get a court trial. He was not found guilty of anything. He did not have a chance to even speak for himself. So certainly I can't prove what happened back then. I was not there. We're just asking for decency, honor, and respect to Mr. Burns. And we ask that you please vote to let us give that young man the honor he deserves. Is there any questions?
No, thank you. Jason?
So Ms. Jackson, we have all the documents you sent over. Attorney Beeman and I are going to review them and make a recommendation back to the commissioners after we've had a chance to go through everything. So we've got them all, and like I said, we just got them, so we'll go through them. They can't take any action tonight, but we'll review everything and get back to you in short order.
And I can provide you with many more. Like I said, we didn't want to make this a big community issue. We just want to do it, we want to be respectful while we're asking for respect. So, if you want more encouragement to agree with us, we gladly provide. And I'd just like the opportunity to say thank you, Mr. Getty, for giving me support and guidance and leadership in this matter. And I thank you for your time and attention.
Mr. Jackson, if I may, in the letter that we have here from you, it references the Allegheny County Lynching, Truth, and Reconciliation Committee. You also talked about the House Bill 307. Is that Allegheny County Lynching and Reconciliation Committee? Is that the one that was formed under House Bill 307?
That was formed under Clory Jackson.
Okay.
The committee. There's a lynching committee. Let's see. There is a lynching committee that's out of Alabama, but the local committee are members of us here. So I guess there's two different committees I wanted to specify. There's a group of us here working to do the honor here, but it is a national committee that has a museum in Alabama where the soil, all we're asking for is to collect some soil, to put in a jar. His name will be on it. The jar will be placed in the museum in Alabama, and we'll collect some soil from here to put in different churches, whoever would like some. Of course, once we collect the soil, they want it from near the place where the lynching occurred. Once we collect the soil, we will leave the property as found. We'll be, filled back in and receiving piles.
How
Thank you,
far
ma'am.
along is this project, Ms. Jackson?
Pardon me?
How far along is the project? Is this just the beginning, or has there been other?
It's very far along.
Do you know what I mean?
Very far along. Because another part of the project is like a major scholarship program that will happen because we want to do an educational component. And really all we're waiting on is for you all to say yes.
Okay. And then some sort of plaque or memorial, is that down the line too, or that's the plan?
Well, one of the historical marker will be at the Emmanuel Church.
Okay.
And they have agreed to host that marker there. A monument has not been discussed yet as to where it specifically will be, and I might be back asking for permission on that. At this point, what we need is the soil, and then next is going to be our scholarship program. And we already have a location for the marker.
You wanna,
And for once, we come to you for something that's not going to cost you anything.
hey,
We like the sound of that.
Yeah, we like the sound of that. Well, look, why don't we just add this to the agenda this evening? We haven't adjourned yet, so we can add that soil collection to the agenda, and if there's no objection here,
objection.
is there a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well, very good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Jackson.
Okay. All righty. So with that, our next public business meeting will be Thursday, July 23rd at 5 p.m. And the meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Okay,
Oh,
you forgot me.
oh,
How could you forget?
well, we'll have,
5 minutes out of your life.
well, we have another meeting here in 2 weeks, Mr. Wilmot, so.
No, this is very, very important, I insist. I insist.
Okay, all right,
Then you understand
okay,
what I'm talking
all right, please.
For those who don't know me, I'm Kenneth Wilmot. I'm a retired U.S. Air Force retiree, 20 years. I live on 513 4th Avenue, Cumberland, Maryland. Remember that address. Wednesday, a week ago, 2 young juveniles came down out of the park. I don't know how old exactly, 11, 12. They came down my street at a quarter to 6 in the evening, and it threw a rock through my window. Yeah, for what? For orneriness. Now, there's 3 witnesses that saw these people. They were reported. I've heard nothing yet. But anyway, the broken window is a my less worry. I'm not worried about the window or the cost. What I'm worried about is we got juveniles who think they can just walk down the street and do whatever they want. We've got to find these kids. We've got to make an example out of every juvenile incident like this. We need to go down hard, because if we go down hard now, we won't have to go hard down when they're 20 years old. You know? Let's break it in at the root. And my concern is, what's next? Are they going to come down and burn my house down or what? I don't know what's in these kids' mind. But anyway, that's my concern. And I think even our city and county police need to work together. And you catch these kids doing this orneriness, take them to court, and let's give them a reality show. Let's take them down to the jail and book them and put them in jail overnight. See how they like it. If they get a reality, I mean, they're going to really get a reality check if they spend the night in the jail at the courthouse. But that's my concern. I hope that you'll take an interest too, because, you know, I've got more miles behind me than I got in front of me. And I can't understand the young people of today. We live in a world of paradise compared to what I grew up in. They have no idea what hardship is with kids today. They've got it. I think the problem is they got too much. I think we do too much for them. They don't have to do a damn thing to support themselves. Or, I read an article in the paper the other day, 30% of the kids coming out of high school can't pass the test to get in the Army. Now that's a sin. They can't read, can't write, they can't comprehend what they're reading. We were taught that at East Side School. I went to East Side School 6 years, Fort Hill 6 years, and I hate to see my city and go down the drain for a bunch of drug addicts and honored kids that think that they own the world. So that's all I got to say. Thank you, Jake, for giving me the time. I hope you comprehend what I'm trying to say. If not, give me a call. We'll come up to my house. We'll sit out on the bench and we'll shoot the breeze. I own a piece of property. And you can sit down and there's a panoramic view of Evans Mountain, Rocky Gap. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. With that, the meeting is now adjourned. Next meeting is Thursday, July 23rd.
Anything for us to sign?
Yeah, that's very good.